there, I'm Nikki with Trail Travels. I recently returned from Costa Rica and I want to share with you some insights, highlights, and information about this destination. So I'm going to jump in with some insights about who should go to Costa Rica.
Nature enthusiasts will love this destination, from the rainforest to the volcanoes and the beaches and the amazing wildlife. There's so much to see. Adventure seekers, Costa Rica is an adrenaline junkie's paradise. Beach lovers, there's a beach here for everyone. Here are some pictures to give you an idea from my trip. There was wildlife everywhere. Almost every tour or activity we did involved wildlife sightings, from the famous sloths to frogs and hummingbirds and monkeys. Adventure lovers, I honestly did not participate in a lot of the adventure activities on this trip, but here are pictures of some. One of our group favorites for those who did it was rappelling down a waterfall. Beach lovers, again, the beach is gorgeous. And a side note here, coffee lovers, there is coffee everywhere, and I'm talking about really good coffee. Also, eco-tourists. Costa Rica is a leader in ecotourism. Moving along to highlights, my favorite spot from my trip was the Springs Resort and Spa in La Fortuna. Here are some pictures from their website, and you can see some of the rewards and accolades that they have received, from hosting famous shows like The Bachelor to being recognized as one of the 7 resorts with the most spectacular view in the world. Besides being beautiful, there were tons of great activities. I got to do the horseback riding and the tubing with the day pass, but there also was kayaking and rock climbing and this big water slide that they called the monkey slide, and much more. Here's a little peek at the property. There are 28, I think it is, hot springs scattered all over this huge resort. It's basically like a hot tub heaven, which I love hot tubs. Hence, one of the reasons it's my favorite spot. And look at this view. So if you ever go to Costa Rica, I highly recommend checking out this resort. Moving along, I actually traveled in a group, and so I want to mention some of the benefits of group travel. First of all, an obvious one is safety in numbers. In my case, I traveled by myself, and so on this particular trip, at least my husband wasn't able to go. And so one of the cool things about some group trips is that they'll pair you with a roommate, and that can seem a little scary, but my roommate was awesome. You'll see a picture of her on the next slide. We got along really well. Also, on this trip, I basically was along for the ride. I didn't have to worry about or plan much of anything. It's all kind of put together for you. And then, of course, the opportunity to make friends, the expertise of the company planning it, lots of benefits of group travel. On this particular trip, I traveled with a tour company called G Adventures, and I want to tell you a few things that I love about this tour company. Number 1, the G is for good. And specifically, they're all about doing good in the world, but one of their big priorities is making sure that as much of the money as possible goes back into the local community. They specifically try to support businesses for those who've been marginalized, so businesses run by women and youth and things like that. They have a ripple score for every one of their tours that shows how much of the money goes back toward local services. And a few of the sayings that I kind of like that go along with this are, they are all about transforming travel into a force for good. They say changing the world is easy. All you have to do is have the time of your life. So I think that's all pretty cool. Another thing that I really loved about this trip was the flexible itinerary. So they basically get you from place to place, have your, hotel and everything set up, and then they have tons of options of excursions or activities that you can do. But you can choose any of them that you want, or you can even do something completely different. Like I did the Springs Resort on my own. No one else from the group did it. Our the local guide, who they call CEOs because they consider them to kind of be the heart of what they do. The CEO helped me to arrange everything. So he's kind of like concierge on top of being a brilliant guide. All of their CEOs or guides, they say, are people that would win the local trivia contests. And I will tell you that was definitely true about our guide. He was like a walking encyclopedia about Costa Rica. So I learned so much on this trip. Another thing about G Adventures is they're all about fun and more active trips. It tends to be geared towards more of a younger crowd. I'd like to end with one more highlight from our trip. So these pictures are from a coffee plantation that we got to visit. This is one of the local businesses that G Adventures supports in Costa Rica, and it was an amazing, eye-opening experience. I made a post about it on Trill Travels on Facebook. So instead of telling the whole thing again, I just recommend that you go check out that post. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions about Costa Rica or G Adventures, or even if you're interested in planning another trip. I would love to connect with you.